What's good, you guys? This your boy Lex, and I'm back with another react. Yes, sirski. Hello, somebody. All right, so man, we got Usher mom calls out L.A. Reid for baiting Usher into Diddy. Now, yes, Usher did stay with Diddy, and Diddy said they used to fight over the cereal. We all heard that before, right? Bro, that was crazy. This is years ago when Kevin Hart was hosting one of the Diddy parties. And he was hugging Kevin on one side and hugging Usher on the other side. And he's like, yo, I remember waking up in the morning. And me, like he said, him and Usher wake up in the morning. He said, we fight over the cereal. Then he said, pause. I'm like, what? You fighting over a cereal? Grown man with a 14-year-old little boy. I knew someone right there. But hey, we here for it. Spicy.
Everybody wants to talk about Diddy when it comes to the rumors and conspiracy theories swirling around Usher's past, right? And don't get me wrong, those allegations, they are disturbing. The whole Flavor Camp situation, baby, that was wild. But here's what I'm wondering. Why is no one talking about the other adults who were around Usher, like L.A. Reid, for instance? What role did someone like Reid play? And why is it that now Usher's mom is allegedly calling for everyone to be held accountable, including Reid? Child, let's give the pot calling the kettle black, cause wasn't Miss Janetta the momager? Anyway, let's just get right into breaking down why L.A. Reid is suddenly getting the spotlight. So when Usher was sent off to New York to live with Diddy at 14 or 15 under the guise of mentorship, guess who arranged that? Guess who handed him over to that world? That wasn't just some spontaneous trip. L.A. Reid was the one who thought it would be a good idea for Usher to soak up the lifestyle from Diddy. See, L.A. Reid, as co-founder of LaFace Records, is the one who signed Usher to the label when Usher was just 14 years old, after hearing him audition, and this marked the beginning of Usher's professional music career. Reid actually served as an executive producer on several of Usher's early albums, including his self-titled debut album, Usher, in 1994, and his breakthrough album, My Way, in 1997. He also served as executive producer for Usher's highly successful...
Nah, that My Way, I don't know about the Usher album. I don't think I ever heard that one. I didn't start hearing about Usher till he did the second album. Now that album was fire from start to finish. I'm not gonna hold you.
Successful Confessions album in 2004. Just like Diddy, he was actually also a mentor to Usher throughout his formative years in the industry. And he is the one who sent a young Usher to New York City to live with Diddy for a period to attend Puffy Flavor Camp. Well, he kind of stopped working with Usher. I don't know why, but in recent years around 2022-2023, Usher and L.A. Reid rekindled their working relationship, not just for Usher's own music, but to collaborate on fostering the next generation of R&B talent. They are reportedly teaming up to build a new record company, with Usher being the first signee. And Reid even co-produced Usher's 2024 album, Coming Home, further solidifying their long-standing partnership. But as allegations and speculation swirl around Diddy's past behavior, some people are beginning to revisit the early choices that shaped Usher's career, and specifically, who made them. Questions are now being asked, like, what did L.A. Reid know back then? He was the executive who arranged for a young teenage Usher.
Bro, this probably not the first time he sent somebody to get mentored by Diddy. You think Usher's the first person? I doubt that very seriously. For real, he been sending people out there, probably people we don't even know about,
to live with Diddy, allegedly for mentorship. But what was he really exposing him to? Did Reid know who Diddy was behind closed doors? Was it just business?
Of course he
did he turn a blind eye to the potential dangers? But even before we talk about L.A. Reid, can we also cast the spotlight on Usher's mom, Miss Janetta, the one who is allegedly calling L.A. Reid out?
So when you came to Atlanta and your son gets into this group and he's doing well, you're his mother. How did you make sure that people didn't take advantage of him?
I was assertive. Okay? I did my homework. You know, the industry that he wanted, you know, as a single parent,
Wow.
it was very difficult.
She
at
said she
first.
did her.
But it was
Imagine
his
how she
dream.
feels now.
Baby, we know that Hollywood is filled with parents who care more about the money than the child. It's a tale as old as time. They'll hand their kids over to the industry, smile on red carpets, cash the checks, and never ask what's happening behind the scenes. And when something goes wrong, when the child star ends up traumatized, spiraling, or exposing their experiences years later, the parents act shocked, like they had no clue. So a lot of people have also been wondering, where was Usher's mother while her teenage son was allegedly sharing a bed with a grown man? A grown man who allegedly sent Usher to the hospital based on what people who were around at the time have been spilling.
You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man,
Dang.
bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said.
Now, Gene Deal is Puff's ex-security guard. He's been around for quite some time. So whenever he say a lot of things, bro. And he spills the beans a lot. So he was there majority of the time.
But I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened.
Okay, Usher's mom may have loved him, no doubt. But if she truly had his best interests at heart, would she have allowed him to be thrown into that kind of environment at that age with those people? I mean, if you're the manager and the mother, then you're twice as responsible. And this isn't just about Usher, by the way. This is about a pattern we've seen with Britney Spears, Aaron Carter, Lindsay Lohan, Michael Jackson, and countless others. The parents open the door, the industry devours the child, and years later, everyone pretends they didn't see it coming. So it's hard for a lot of people to believe that she didn't know what was going on. Did she let it go on without saying anything? Especially when we had other people openly saying that they witnessed Usher engaging in things he shouldn't have. I mean, someone like Ed Lover once recalled a time when he went to a club and Usher was drinking in the company of P. Diddy, and he just couldn't understand why the adults around him were allowing it. Ed actually said, "I looked to my right and there's a kid standing right there drinking champagne, and I couldn't help but wonder who the hell let their child come into this club, stand in the VIP section, and drink champagne. I mean, guzzling champagne out of the bottle." Apparently, it was only after Usher's album dropped that he realized that the child with P. Diddy at the club guzzling champagne in the VIP section with adults was Usher. Of course, Usher himself has also been pretty open about the things he witnessed when he was living with Diddy, and specifically said it was wild.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor
some...
Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying.
That's when
nonstop,
everything
right?
started.
Not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was
You
I
was
don't know
sent
if I
there.
can
You didn't
indulge
went
and
there.
understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
Allegedly, even in Kim Porter's tell-all book that was supposed to come out before she died, she also wrote that Usher's mom confronted Diddy when she found out about what was happening. As for how Kim even found out, allegedly, while Kim was going through security footage from Uptown Records because she had a feeling Diddy was playing her, she allegedly came across footage of Diddy and Andre Harrell doing you-know-what. Obviously, Kim did not expect to find footage of Diddy and Andre when she was going through the recordings, but she did, and she kept the footage. Allegedly, based on reports, Kim didn't just get her hands on footage of Diddy and Andre, she also had video of Diddy allegedly taking advantage of Usher and kept the footage. But just before she died, someone broke into her house and only her laptops were stolen. Honey, based on what I've seen making rounds, Usher's mom eventually found out. But as for what exactly she did after finding out what was happening, I don't know. Because as far as I'm concerned, there were no repercussions at all. She literally just continued to focus on Usher's career.
Now, I really do not like being out front. I am the person that makes the magic happen. And I want to spend my time, working on making it perfect, And
To make matters worse, the streets have been saying Kim even wrote about Usher contracting an STD. And I'm not sure if it's the same STD that Usher was getting sued over, because there was a time a woman named Quantasia Sharpton, along with a Jane Doe and John Doe, sued Usher, claiming they all had relations with Usher, and they all said he risked their health by not telling them about his alleged herpes diagnosis, and were seeking unspecified damages. The woman, who did not identify herself, said that she slept with Usher at least twice.
Wow.
And after contracting the STD, CD from him, her twins were stillborn. So maybe he got that from Diddy, just like people have been saying as of late. Well, Usher did say that his mom had no idea what was happening behind the scenes, but people are finding that hard to believe considering the stories were literally everywhere. The only thing Usher's mom previously said directly about Diddy was when she was asked how she was comfortable leaving Usher with people like Diddy and how she made sure people were not taking advantage of him. And she said that she had done her homework and knew it was the right call. But she also admitted that she didn't know much about Diddy at the time when Usher was first signed to LaFace Records, but she gave him to Diddy as a mentor, and Usher moved to New York to stay with Diddy. What Usher's mom said was that when Usher hit puberty, he basically lost his voice, and record labels no longer wanted anything to do with him. And Diddy, who was with them when the record label wanted to drop him, said he would take him, and that Usher's mom just had to trust him. Okay, it's possible that Usher's mom had no idea what was going on, and I know that it would be incredibly hypocritical for Usher's mom to point fingers at
That's
L.A.
crazy.
Reid, because she played just as big a role in shaping the
She
path
did,
that
though.
led her son
She
into
did.
potentially dangerous environments. L.A. Reid may have made the industry connections and facilitated the mentorship with Diddy, but it was Janetta Patton, Usher's own mother, who signed off on it. And she wasn't just a parent, she was his manager, the one responsible for making career decisions and protecting him. Because of this, we have people saying that for her to allegedly be calling out L.A. Reid for handing over her son, the obvious question becomes, what did you do to stop it, mama? Where were your instincts as a mother? But regardless, how is L.A. Reid not being talked about more? Why aren't people asking the tough questions about the gatekeepers behind the scenes and the execs who are supposed to protect these kids and not throw them into the deep end of the industry cesspool? I mean, if Diddy was the face of that lifestyle, L.A. Reid was the one handing over the keys. This wasn't just Diddy's world. This was an entire industry pipeline, and Usher was just
Facts.
one of many. I mean, don't you think it's time we start questioning all the adults? And I mean all of the adults who were in the room, not just the ones who ended up in the headlines. Child, we should probably cover what was up with Diddy's mom as well. But for now, let me know if you think L.A. Reid should also be questioned, together with Usher's mom, in the comments section.
Man, yes, she should. What type of mother gonna send their kid off? I don't care how famous you want your kid to be. I can see you fly down there for a weekend and you get a hotel room and then let Usher go do his thing in the studio or work with Diddy or something like that. But to send him off and let him live with a grown man, that was just crazy. I mean, hey, I couldn't have done it for my kids. I wouldn't care. They could have cried blood. But you ain't taking your rump, bro. Nah, that was just crazy. I wonder how Miss Patton feels now, bro. Knowing that Diddy was doing all these things and her son was actually there, probably one of the first ones. I wonder how she feel. She probably kicking herself in the butt every day, bro. I can imagine.